Dan and Phil, two influencers, Daniel Howell and Phil Lester, who are based in the UK, that have been creating content for the platform YouTube for 16 and 19 years respectively, with both focusing on personal stories mixed in with humour in order to garner an audience. After being off and on with content for 6 years, the return of their joint gaming channel, Dan and Phil Games, and their joint world tour, Terrible Influence, has reignited a small corner of the internet for young women and gender non-conforming people. But how does their rebranding and their newer content impact their current fan base? For my A2, I will be creating a content analysis of the rebrand of Dan and Phil over the years of 2023 to 2025, and how their marketing strategies and advertising of their new, more authentic selves has reshaped their fan base and more specifically, their monetization of them. My main reading that will be supporting this content analysis will be the Cantelli and Rodriguez's Menvertising and the Resistances to New Masculinity in Audiovisual Representations, as I believe Dan and Phil's authentic rebranding ties in heavily with modern advertising trends that are now targeted at men and what new stereotypes that reinforces into popular culture. With this reading, alongside the general concept of society's construction of gender and my supporting articles, the investigation of their various production of content and the impact that is created on their primarily young, queer, female, and gender non-conforming audience. Literature review will also support my research, particularly the study conducted by Dewey's study Meta-Representation, Choice of Context in Virtual Environment, Negotiating Identity on YouTube Video Blogging, that has already conducted a content analysis on Daniel Howell specifically, addressing the meta-representation on 3 fronts: content, form, and stance, finding that 2 out of the 3 formats were crucial in representing Dan's image, which were language and structural features. This research will be the base of my context for their current work and the active menvertising they engage in for monetary gain. In conclusion, Dan and Phil, their joint gaming channel, Dan and Phil Games, and their joint tour, Terrible Influencer, will be the larger components of my content analysis into menvertising and the marketing strategies used in order to influence their primarily young and queer fan base. Using Cantelli and Rodriguez's study on menvertising, as well as Dewey's investigation on Daniel Howell's content, I seek to explore the monetization of these influencers' joint audiences and how their authenticity coats their modern personas.